Guys, the NFL Pro Bowl games 2026 just wrapped up, and did you know what happened? George Pickens won an offensive MVP. This is incredible, right? And more importantly, what GP said after that has me ready to sign him today. Let's get into it. What's up, Cowboys? Welcome to the NFL Playbook Cowboys. If you're new here, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. This channel is all about breaking down everything you need to know about the America's team. So yeah, Dallas sent like 8 players to the Pro Bowl. I mean, I wasn't exactly jumping for joy about it because, we're sitting at home on our couches instead of playing meaningful games. But George Pickens just changed the whole narrative for me with what he said after winning that offensive MVP trophy. Listen, I've been on the George Pickens train for a while now, like since he was getting drafted. I was out here saying we should take him in the first round. I know, we didn't go that route and he ended up with the Steelers, but I kept watching him, kept tweeting about him, saying we need to get this guy because he's just different. So after the game, they interviewed George Pickens. He won the offensive MVP. He's got to hit free agency. His value is at an all-time high. This is literally his moment to shine, to talk about himself, to show the whole league why he deserves a massive contract. You'd think he'd be out there flexing, talking about his stats, his highlight catches, all that stuff. But you know what he said when they asked him what the best part of the Pro Bowl weekend was? His teammates. I mean, think about that for a second. George Pickens is a free agent. He just came off a 1,400-yard season with 9 touchdowns. CeeDee Lamb goes down, and he steps up and officially becomes a #1 receiver. Everything's working in his favor. He goes to the Pro Bowl, wins offensive MVP. He's got all the leverage in the world right now. And the first thing out of his mouth is about his teammates. He's talking about CeeDee Lamb, Dak Prescott, Quinnen Williams, even Kevontae Turpin and Jake Ferguson. That's what stood out to him the most. Look, this might seem like nothing to some people, but when you're a free agent about to get your biggest payday ever and you still put your teammates first, that tells me everything about this guy's character. Remember, everyone kept saying George Pickens was going to be a locker room problem. They compared him to Terrell Owens, Antonio Brown, and Le'Veon Bell. They said he was going to tear teams apart, be a cancer in the locker room. But what has he actually done? Nothing but show up and ball out. I've been following this dude closely, and honestly, I saw this coming. I feel like I've got a pretty good eye for talent. Some of these guys I've been excited about over the years have turned into legitimate stars in this league. The interview is genuine too. They asked him about seeing Micah Parsons rolling around on his scooter, and he's just laughing, talking about how they wanted to use Micah for a tush-push. He's loose, having fun, but still locked in. You could tell he showed up focused on football. The dude showed up in basketball shorts, a t-shirt, and sneakers to the red carpet events. He's not out here trying to be a fashion icon. He's locked in on football, period. That's exactly what we need in Dallas right now. Someone who's focused, who values his teammates, who understands it's bigger than just individual stats and contracts. Yeah, he wants to get paid. Of course he does. There are millions of dollars on the table. But the fact that he went out there in that interview in his biggest moment and the first thing he mentions is his teammates, after being labeled a locker room cancer, after people said he'd tear a team apart, man, that's absolutely huge. Stephen Jones, Jerry Jones, Will McClay, you need to pay attention to this. This is the type of player you invest in. Because as much as people want to paint George Pickens as some kind of problem, he's not. He's the perfect guy to have on your team. A dog on the field, a great teammate off it. Someone who's focused on winning, not just collecting checks. Some players in this league don't even like playing football, They just like the money. But Pickens is different. He loves the game. He's committed to his teammates, and he's showing leadership. Look, the biggest knock on him is that he's young. He might go out and have some fun, but he's not getting arrested, he's not putting his hands on anyone, he's not doing anything crazy. He's just a young guy who likes to play football and happens to be really, really good at it. He's in a great environment with strong leadership around him, from the quarterback to the coaches to his teammates, and you can see him becoming a leader himself. And you know what stood out too? The way he talked about the camaraderie at the Pro Bowl, seeing guys from different teams come together. He talked about it like a family reunion, tapping in with teammates, connecting with people. That's the mindset we need. Someone who sees football as more than just business, who genuinely loves being around his guys and competing together. Maybe I'm overhyping this. I'm sure some of you will say I am in the comments. But I don't care, honestly. I'm going to keep doing me, because doing me is what got me here, and doing me is what's going to keep pushing me forward every single day. but I really believe this matters. When a guy has every reason to make it all about himself and he chooses to make it about his teammates instead, that's special. That's the kind of player you build around. Now, yesterday, we have discussed that the Cowboys started negotiating with Javonte Williams, but they haven't discussed anything with GP and his agent, and they are going to put franchise tag on him. That's yesterday's story, but now scenario is changed. Like, I'm okay with the franchise tag, and I expect that when regular season will start, they will make him a deal. And the way George Pickens is talking about his teammates, he actually wants to stay with the Cowboys. So now, Jerry, please, I'm begging you, sign George Pickens as early as possible. This whole narrative about him being a locker room problem is overblown. He's young, he's talented, he's focused on the right things, and he's showing all the qualities you want in a leader. He fits perfectly with what we're trying to build here. He'd make an incredible duo with CeeDee Lamb. He's proven he can be a number one, and most importantly, he cares about his teammates and winning. This is the type of move that could change everything for us. A young, hungry receiver who's already proven he can produce at an elite level, who has the right mindset, who values team success over individual glory. We need to lock him up before someone else does, because I promise you teams are paying attention to what he said too. They're seeing the same things I'm seeing, and if we don't act fast, we're going to regret it. All right, let me know what you think in the comments. Am I seeing something here, or am I just overhyping another player? Either way, I'm standing on this. George Pickens is the real deal, and we need to make him a Cowboy. Appreciate y'all for watching. Hit that subscribe button if you like the content. Let's keep this conversation going.